day of June 2025. Welcome to Good Morning Anambra, the press review segment. My name is Aduluchuku Okagwe.
And my name is Nonya Nwokwe. It's good to have you here this morning. I hope you had a wonderful night rest. All right, let's begin the show with the press review.
We begin the press review this morning with news making rounds on ABS websites. And the first news we have for you this morning from the ABS platform is Soludo advocates new national consciousness, stronger collaboration for better Nigeria.
Democracy Day. Anambra State Assembly Speaker Udeze allowed sacrifice of founding fathers, asking the Anambra to back Soludo's re-election.
ABS holds candlelight procession in honor of fallen colleague Ifeanyi Obinyaleku.
Internal crisis. Soludo approves 15 million naira for mass burial of 43 victims in Ugwanyocha community.
2 years anniversary, Anambra State Assembly reaffirmed commitment towards deepening democratic governance, advancing development.
2 years anniversary, Anambra State lawmakers team beat executive team 4-1 in friendly football match. That could be a great one there.
Philanthropists also distribute bags of rice, beans, to household in Ifitin, Nteje quarters.
In Faculty of Agriculture, Nnamdi Azikiwe University honors outgoing Dean Ebenebe.
Democracy Day, Tinubu asks Nigerians to uphold ideals of June 12.
You can track ABS on any free-to-air with these parameters. Satellite name, NIGCOMSAT, 1 hour, position 42. And of course, just to know that we are on all social media handles. All right, let's talk about that match. You know, the executive and the legislature. They said it's 4-1. Yeah, you're a sports guy. What does it mean to beat someone 4-1? How does it feel?
Score 4 goals and the other people score.
How does it feel?
Well, defeat is defeat. Well, there are some defeats that are more humiliating than others. But I think based on the fact that this is more like a novelty match, we will just say...
It's like executive started doing executive on the field.
Exactly, on the field. So let us believe. I wish I was there to have seen this match. To actually see our lawmakers there trying to...
Honestly.
On a lighter note, stretch their...
It must have been a beautiful one.
Yeah.
All right. Other stories trending, the Democracy Day was actually yesterday.
Yeah.
And Soludo spoke in Lagos. There's a program they call Platform in Lagos where he spoke. And of course, he advocates new national consciousness, stronger collaboration for better Nigeria. And of course, I think that's a good one. What actually will help us to outgrow our challenges, our differences as a nation, our problems. When we chat a new course, he has always said, doing the same thing the same way will not yield any different results. Yeah. So we try other strategies to see what happens. It's a very good one. And of course,
the president too. Tinubu asks Nigerians to uphold ideals of June 12. And we all know what's synonymous with
it will begin with them now. When someone wins an election,
exactly,
you uphold it. You don't...
No, the question is, what are we even upholding? The ideals of the June 12? What is it actually that the president is telling Nigerians?
Probably they want to turn a new leaf.
Is it the transparency of the election?
It could be because...
is it the annulment of the election?
That is what it should be. That is what it should be.
The transparency of the election.
Maybe the presidency have seen that, what happened in June 12 is part of our problem, and they want to turn a new leaf. Maybe they have stopped or they have learned to stop grabbing it and running with it. So let's.
I so much believe that if a child wants to turn a new leaf, after the parents might have, complained and complained and complained, it is the child putting in effort, actions, and not words. So in my own case, I believe that upholding the ideals of June 12.
He just said it. So let's keep our fingers crossed and see what happened. All right, let's move on now to the first paper for review. Let's look at the first paper for review, the Daily Sun newspaper. On the Daily Sun newspaper, we see Tinubu, Atiku, Obi, PDP clash on Democracy Day, with a rider there. President mocks opposition for inability to fix crisis in parties. Yaradua, other heroes of democracy, Kokari, Kokori, Ndubisi, Kano, Ebute, Onanoga also. Labour set for fresh battle over minimum wage, consequential adjustments meets federal government. June 12, thugs attack protesters in Ondo State. And of course, the commissioning of projects is still on in Abuja with the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The next paper.
The next paper for review this morning is Daily Trust newspaper. And we have the banner headline telling us about PDP, ADC, SDP take on Tinubu on opposition comment. 8 family members die in Zaria auto crash. We have protests against hardship floods in states. No democracy as long as Rivers is under emergency rule. That's coming from Dixon. Survivor narrates moments before crash that killed 240. We have June 12, governors seek commitment to democratic ideals. Tinubu honors Yaradua, Balarebe Musa, Kudirat Abiola, Shoyinka orders. So that's all we have for you on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper.
All right, I think it's a very pathetic one, losing 8 family members in an auto crash in Zaria. We pray that God condoles the family affected. It's not a small thing, 8 family members, what a tragic end. And of course, democracy, no democracy as long as Rivers is under emergency. I think it boils down to what you said earlier, it's not in speaking,
it is
but in acting.
Yeah.
We are in democracy, and something that happened in Rivers State happened, and we are still talking about democracy. So
talking about democracy.
Our leaders need to think again, and of course, the masses know. Sometimes it's like our leaders act in a way that the masses don't understand or know anything. I don't know whether you diligently watched the Vox Pop we had yesterday on our discussion to see what people were saying and how emotional they were in saying that, talking about democracy. That shows you that our people are very, very much aware, very, very, knowledgeable about the whole situation of the nation, democracy and all that needed to be done to make a nation a democratic nation. So sometimes when they do certain things, let them understand that the masses also have understanding of the entire situation.
Well, maybe we'll still talk about democracy, but most people believe, I inclusive, believe that what we have here is not anything close to democratic governance. Well, let's go to the next paper we have for review this morning, and that's the Vanguard newspaper.
All right, in front of the Vanguard, we have, I don't view one-party state as good for Nigeria. That's coming from the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Okay, let's see what happened. That means he's not trying to bring in everybody into APC. Says it's in order to see opposition in disarray. Reels out achievements in 2 years. Tinubu has transformed decayed Nigeria. Babio, Odimma. Tinubu celebrates Vanguard publisher Sam Amoka at 90, confers him over 60 others with national honors. IBB apologized to us for annulling June 12. Abiola's son speaking. And of course, the pictures of projects that are being commissioned in Abuja today, Friday, 13th June 2025, venue along Ossex by Fazubinshe Estate, 2 p.m. time. Okay, these are projects, the commissioning is still on. Remember, it's 17 days, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, quickly, let's see what we have for you on the Daily Independent newspaper this morning. And then the banner headline is screaming there to us, don't blame defectors jumping off a sinking ship. That's coming from the president. And we also have the writers there saying, says one party states not in the offing, nor should it be. And we have Mox opposition tells them to put their house in order, confers national honors on Kudirat Abiola, Humphrey Nwosu others, grants posthumous pardon to Kensaro Wiwa, 8 Ogoni activists. That's interesting. Now, our democracy is declining in Nigeria. P2B, Article 1. And then we have the Patriots asks federal government to speed up process for the true democratic constitution. And also we have resist anti-democratic actions of APC government. PDP tells Nigerians, we are not obliged to solve PDP LP orders internal crisis. That's coming from the APC. And then we have Falaye insists he won 1999 presidential election. I think he too needs a day to be declared, to be declared there for him. Makes case for parliamentary system of government. Lassa fever death toll rises to 142 across 18 states. Tinubu missed golden opportunity to restore democracy in Rivers. That's coming from Dixon. Survivor of Air India crash jumped out of emergency exit, police say.
All right.
How fast and...
Okay, a lot of stories, in front of the Daily Independent newspaper. Tinubu, I don't know how many mouths he's speaking from. Don't blame defectors jumping off a sinking ship. And of course, in the other paper, he talked about, I don't view one-party state as good for Nigeria. I wonder where he is driving at. But we are all here, we are watching, and see how things unfold.
I think those stories are totally unnecessary. It's like you're more interested in what happens in the opposition than what's the responsibility
you should be concerned.
You understand? So to me, we shouldn't see comments like this on national dailies talking about what happens jumping off ship, sinking ship, and the rest of it. And at the same time, you're not in support of one party system. But then let's just wait and see. All I know that we all are entitled to just one vote. That's the way democracy in the true nature is actually practiced.
All right, look at what the opposition is actually telling Nigerians. Resist anti-democratic actions of APC government, PDP tells Nigerians. And one begins to wonder, how do they want Nigerians to do that? I don't know what they intend to do or how they intend to support Nigerians to achieve this. Meanwhile, they are all Nigerians.
Yeah.
The PDP and the APC, there's no much difference.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's still the same people circulating themselves in the seat of power in Nigeria. So I wonder what actually they meant by that.
Like they always say, people deserve the leaders they get. We've seen all over the world where things don't all go well, and the citizens, because they are the real stakeholders, and they take responsibility to ouster such government. We've seen that happen in Bangladesh, and it happens in more sophisticated and advanced democracy than what we actually practice here. So I would say that everything still boils down to the citizens, you and I. You understand? What are you willing to do?
You know what? There's one day I was having a chat with my son. What you said, that citizens get leaders they deserve. We were just having a chat, and what came out from this boy's mouth, I couldn't believe it, that Nigerians got the kind of leader they deserve. See, mommy, look at everywhere, everybody's money, money, money. Do you understand? So I was like, so this boy, as young as he is, understands what actually is going on in Nigeria. But I pray that we change as a nation, we change as a people, individually, collectively. Nigeria, I believe, will be stronger and better.
Until we do the needful.
We
Yes,
will
sir.
do.
Until we do
The
the
little
until we
ones.
have a holistic national identity, one identity, and that identity should be Nigerian and not based on ethnic and religious lines.
Okay.
Until we come and agree to that, then we can. Because those are the strings that we get being pulled around and then being made not to come together and align to fight the forces that are actually pulling us down.
All right. The next paper is This Day newspaper. Tinubu to PDP. It's my pleasure seeing you in this array. One party state, not our plan. So what's your plan? What's your plan? The way you're mocking the PDP. All right, let's confers national honors. We've seen that before. Also in this day article, today Nigeria teeters on edge of dangerous precipice, creeping one party. Tinubu commissions Apo Wasa Road today. That's the much we have in front of This Day newspaper.
Okay, next on our paper review this morning is the Guardian newspaper, and then we have there the banner headline, June 12, Presidents, Nigerians differ on progress, impact, 32 years after. And we have NNPC remits 4.7 trillion as oil revenue shortfall hit $5.7 billion. We have June 12, Soludo Fashola Jega advocate electoral reforms, national rebate. One passenger survives as plane crash kills over 260 in India. And also we have Democracy Day. Tinubu honors Alex Ibru, Kudirat, Musu, Akinyemi, others with national honors. Abiola family seeks legislation to institutionalize June 12. Wow. Alia accuses religious leaders of fueling insecurity in Benue. Windstorm kills 6, injures 30 in Taraba. Universities must score 70% in 4 key areas to get full NUC accreditation, says federal government. International Day emergency services at risk over 80%, blood shortage in hospitals. Wow, that's really, really worrisome there.
All right, we take the last paper before we talk. The Nigerian Tribune. That's the story is Kudirat Abiola. Okay, it's the same story. Plane heading to London from India carrying 230 passengers crashes. One survives. In fact, our heart is going out to the people of India. And those people
India,
that lost
Portugal,
even
UK.
Our hearts goes out to all of you. May the Lord console you, and we pray that Ozemezina, that's how we say it in our language, Ozemezina, may it not happen again. All right, quickly we see, let's look at some of these stories and see, what actually is going on.
Yeah, we're talking about the Democracy Day, that where some people are asking and wondering, is democracy still democracy in Nigeria? That's a very big question there. Now, talking about institutionalizing June 12, I really don't understand what other, what other thing the Abiola family would want June 12 to have. We've shifted from May 29 to June 12, and they're still asking for other, recognition for that particular date. I don't know if they will want the mandate to fall on the sun in order for us to actually know that we have come to the conclusion of what's happening in June 12.
Okay, I think the details are on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper to really find out in details what they are asking for. But my concern is on this International Day, emergency services at risk, over 80% blood shortage in hospitals. How do we say this, that in Nigerian hospitals there are shortages of blood? Please, we have a Blood Donors Day when people can easily walk into hospitals to donate blood, without asking for anything. And of course, hospitals that people come in to donate blood should not sell the blood donated, by
Really.
free of charge. When bloods are donated, you should use it,
To save
to
lives.
save lives and not to commercialize it, as some people are fond of doing. But I think the government should start awareness again to let people know that you can easily walk into hospital to donate blood. But another thing is that the way things are going in Nigeria, how many people will be bold enough to do that, saying that some may go into a hospital and they may manhandle or mishandle some situations that could cause. There are so many things to talk about concerning this blood donation, but it's important that those in positions of authority or health authorities should come up to enlighten the public, let them know the need to donate blood to hospitals, and of course, go against people that sell blood. Because I know that some people don't like to go to donate blood again,
yeah.
because
It's
the
against
ones they
some.
donated were sold or were not used judiciously, So,
Yeah. Still on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, June 12th, Soludo, Fashola, Jega advocate electoral reforms, national rebate. Just like what I was talking about not too long ago. When you talk about democracy and then you don't actually work in that template, you understand, upholding the tenet of democracy, you can't actually come to say you are practicing democracy. Just like Dixon is saying here that reinstate Fubara, then you will know you're working within the templates of democracy.
But Ajulo, you're not new to Nigeria.
Not being new to Nigeria, but these are these are governors saying this. These are former electoral.
Look at it. Look at it. This is not the first time we're having electoral reforms. In fact, the one that happened 2023, people were hopeful that we are there, as a people that go to polls to elect their leaders. Everybody, including me, we were hopeful that we are there, because they talked about transmitting results immediately. They talked about all these machines that they use in voting and whatever. So what do you get at the end of the day? Some were malfunctioning, some were, there were glitches, the languages or the terms used. So I don't know who is actually fooling who in this country when it comes to electoral reforms.
So when you don't do these electoral reforms, do we continue in the same way where we are? Of course not. So we need to keep agitating. We need to keep talking. We need to keep working towards these electoral reforms, because this is the only way we can begin to sieve the leaders that we actually want. And if actually they merit being, you understand, in public offices. So these are the best way to go about this. So for Jega, Fashola, and Soludo to come up and say that we need electoral reforms, of course they know the importance of this. We all know what transpired in last general elections.
The governor of Benue State is still accusing religious leaders of fueling insecurity in Benue State. I think that's what he said a few days ago, when the attack came again. And now we are seeing so many attacks, not just in Benue State, but also in Taraba State. Okay, Taraba State is windstorm that killed 6. So sorry, it's a very pathetic one there. But in Jos, Plateau State, we've seen other killings here and there. So whatever that is going on, this is not time to trade blames, but a time to find solution, a lasting solution to the killings here and there, because these are human beings we are talking about, not animals that were slaughtered on a daily basis.
It's quite pathetic, but then let's see what happens with further development there. If you know that these are religious leaders, one thing with Nigerian leaders is that they fail to mention names. I don't know, you only come up and suggest, but then underneath you know details more than what you're saying. And you're not even giving the citizens the direction to follow. You just come up and tell us that religious leaders are the ones responsible. You've not had a podcast making names. If you call an accused, responsible for a crime, I'm sure the guy or the person will retrace his steps and then probably think of another thing. But then you have nipped that chaos in the bud, and then you move ahead and then know what to do. You can't be the governor of a state and then you'll be on the pages of a newspaper and be telling us that who the perpetrators of unrest in your state.
Exactly why I said it's not time to trade blames.
These are times for you to be proactive.
Solution.
You understand? Seek for solution and the rest of it all, and don't come to the and then, because none of your family has been caught up in that crossfire, so you just feel that all is well, and
all
then
right.
you're losing people on a daily basis in your state.
All right, actually, this is where we're wrapping up the press review for today. We'd like to thank you so much for watching. Do sit back, for we have more coming on Good Morning Anambra Show.